Hey everyone, my name is Zach REDRUP. This is the It's Not a Phase podcast, and on this episode I'm joined by Gore guitarist Alex Reyes. The band have only been around for about a year, but they're already making waves in the heavy music scene, so we talk about how they came together, their recently released debut EP, A Bud That Never Blooms, signing to Spinefarm Records, and loads more. Before we jump into the chat, if you do enjoy the podcast and you'd like to support it, there's a few ways that you can do that, and they each take just a few seconds of your time. First, you can hit subscribe or follow wherever you're checking this out so you don't miss out on any future episodes. You can leave a review or a comment. You can go and give the podcast a follow on social media, and there's also a Patreon and there's a web store if you did want to pick something up to go the extra mile. You can find all the links to everything that I've just mentioned in the description of this episode, or you can head to itsnotaphase.co.uk. And now, with all of that out of the way, here's my chat with Alex from Gore. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me on this episode of the It's Not a Phase podcast, where I'm joined by Alex of the band Gore. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Yeah, awesome, man. Awesome. So yeah, you guys have not long come off your first tour with Within the Ruins. How was that?
Oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Completely, it's for our first tour being a group. It was awesome. It was like a little trial run because it was 5 days.
yeah.
But those 5 days were pretty brutal. I'm gonna be honest with you. The drives were there was no breaks in between. It was just 5 days of just one after the other after the other. And some of those dates were started off in Lubbock, Texas, and then we ended up in Denver, Colorado. So like all of that within one night, we had to make that
Wow.
drive. Yeah. So that sucked, but it's part of the life, and it's
Yeah,
awesome because you get to bond with your bandmates, and what better way than to being sleep deprived and hungry and just waiting for that adrenaline rush of just being on the stage.
yeah, yeah. All the best parts of being in a band.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. How were the shows?
They were awesome. We got a really good reception, for us being like our first shows that we've ever played as a
Yeah.
group. Um, it was we had people driving to see us or people flying in to see us, which was amazing. We just never thought that would happen, but whenever we had a show in Colorado, a guy flew in from Iowa just to see us.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And
Yeah.
we're like, "Are you sure you wanted to make that trip?" And he was like, "Hell yeah." I was like, "Dude, that's awesome."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to get used to it because I imagine, many more tours are coming your way. So, yeah.
They're in the talking phases. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't divulge any more than that.
Of course. Yeah. Well, you've also got your debut EP coming out, A Bud That Never Blooms. Obviously, when people hear this conversation, the EP will already be out for people to listen to and enjoy. Uh,
Mhm.
how are you feeling about getting that collection of songs out there?
Man, honestly, I'm just happy they're seeing the light of day.
Yeah,
Even whenever talking with the rest of the band, we've been sitting on these songs for almost a year and a half, almost 2 years.
right.
Yeah, so like from demo phase to mixing and mastering phase to the marketing phase, like strategizing how we're gonna release these songs. Because we don't want to just do the just all right, here it is. Here's the songs that we spent all our money on
Yeah,
to create. So we just wanted it to make we wanted each song to be more of an experience. And that's basically I'm just happy that it's out because it
yeah,
was a labor of love, but I would do it again.
yeah. Well, you mentioned something important there, like it's, must be like really excited to put new music out and stuff like that. But if you just shove it out there and people don't know that it's out or there's not like much of a buzz or anything like that, then
Hmm.
you're kind of like throwing it to the void and just hoping for the best, aren't you? So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's, unfortunately, that's kind of like the local scene. Uh, uh, no, I'm not gonna say local scene, but it's like if you want to stay at the local level, that's what local level bands do. Is just they
Yeah.
just all right. I'm just impatient and I just want to throw it out because I was part of that. I was part of that. That mentality where I just wanted to shit out songs and being in this group was more like okay, we got these five awesome songs. We don't want to just throw them out into the void because then nobody's gonna hear it. So we decided, we gotta create like the atmosphere, create your own storm with these songs, and I think personally, I think it worked. Like people are gravitating to the songs. They're really giving us the time of day, and we love that, and we're super appreciative of all the attention that we've been getting because of these songs.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You are getting like quite a lot of attention, aren't you? And like that's how you, I guess, secured the within the Ruins tour that as well.
Yeah, I mean that it was one of those things where we released the first single, which was Pray, in December of 2023,
Hmm.
which was like at the end of the year. And then all of a sudden, we just started getting this rush of streams and reactions, and like it was incredible. And then that's kind of how it set us up for the next release, which was Doomsday. And then Doomsday was very well received too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just like avalanched, snowballed, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you are like a brand new band still in its infancy, very fresh
Mhm.
face. So I think it'd just be good to kind of like set the story of how the band came to be. So
Yeah.
can you just kind of like explain like how that all began and how like we got to where we are today?
Yeah. So it all started with Haley. Haley literally had just gotten off or just left like a tech death metal band um, before she started this group. And she left that band and she wanted to start something new, something that she always wanted to do. Because I don't think whenever she was in other bands, she was able to really creatively do her own thing. This band was definitely a birth for her creativity. And she went into the studio with some producers and came out with some demos. And then she showed us all the people who were interested in trying to join the band with her because she made a post saying, "Hey, looking for musicians." And me and Devin absolutely raised our hands and we're like, "Hey, we want to be a part of this group."
Hmm.
Um, and I've known Haley for a few years already because she used to live in Texas, in Houston, and I met her through mutual friends in the scene. And that's how I and my connection to Haley. And then the same, somewhat similar story between her and Devin. Devin and her had been internet friends for years from the gent shit posting group.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and so that happened, and then we just listened to the demos, and we're like, dude, we're in. We're absolutely in. So that's kind of how it went.
Right. Okay. Were you in a band yourself at the time, or how like beforehand, like how many bands you've been in and stuff like that?
Oh, I've been in plenty of bands in the local scene. My so I've been in a few bands. The first band that I was ever in was a band called Adamantium.
Right. Okay.
When I was like 18 years old. And then that band kind of went through a metamorphosis of you know different members and stuff. So we decided to call ourselves something different. We called ourselves Apotheca.
Right.
Um, I was with that band up until like 2019, 20, oh no, a little after 2020. And then that band unfortunately broke up.
Right.
uh, and so between, that time of that band breaking up and joining Hades was like maybe a few months,
Right.
uh, maybe 6 months after. And I was just like, dude, this band had to die so that I can join this band, so to speak, in retrospect, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
And Yeah, that's kind of how it went.
Right. Yeah. Well, you say things happen for a reason, don't they? And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So so then obviously you joined the picture, and then do you know like when did the signing with Spine Farm happen? Was that like did you like pitch out the songs that were already recorded and stuff like that? How did that happen?
So a lot of these songs, so we started getting a lot of attention from labels kind of right out the gate because they
Right.
heard Prey and they saw how much Prey was like generating as far as like streams and views from reaction videos and just the overall engagement that we have with fans over social media. And a lot of that is due to Haley's just amazing approach to the social media platforms. Uh, and not too long after Doomsday was released, they were like, all right, we need to start talking to y'all. It wasn't until I want to say like March that we actually got signed with Spine Farm.
Right. Okay.
Don't quote me on that. That's roughly that's what I remember.
Roughly that time. Yeah.
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 And then but before that, the record label was Spine Farm called us in February, like the end of January, beginning of February. They're like, we heard the rest of the songs because they asked for the what we had,
Hmm.
and they're like, okay, we want to be a part of the rest of the EP, and so we're just like, okay, which is the reason why we had a big hiatus of releases from January all the way up to
Yeah.
August.
Got to sign all the papers and stuff like that.
You know, dot the I's, cross the T's,
Yeah.
so to speak. And so that's kind of why whenever we released Babylon, that was our launching off point with the label.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the band name Gore as well. I mean, obviously, when people hear the word Gore, they
Mhm.
think of like, horror films and stuff
Yeah.
like that and violence and stuff. But I think it's, you kind of refer to it as like gore in the sense of like being exposed and vulnerable and like emotional
Yeah.
gore, I think is like the
Emotional
phrase that you
gore.
use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, we use the phrase emotional gore to really differentiate the the meaning of the band name.
yeah.
Um, because again, like you said, everybody thinks of gore like bloody guts type thing, which we also wanted to use as a play on words,
Hmm.
give people like that knee jerk reaction of like, oh wait, hold on, I thought this was gore, not let me cry my eyes out and just start swinging and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we wanted to really showcase the vulnerability of the human condition, not just not just not just take it at face value, but really dig in and see what inner turmoils we can paint,
Yeah.
for as far as like painting a picture for the songs. And it's just like just exposing your inner demons, your inner fights, your inner turmoils, and just put it in music and in a visual form.
Yeah. Well, you say like the name itself because of like I guess the initial thought most people would have. And you say it kind of
Hmm.
gives like a reaction, doesn't it? Like people will automatically feed into the fact that you've got this name Gore, and it's
Hmm.
so people might assume like you're I don't know, a death metal band or something like that, and then obviously they
Yeah,
hear the music, and it's not that. So
yeah,
it's a way of like kind of reeling people in a little bit, I suppose.
yeah. Because I mean, you automatically think it must be a heavy metal band, like a
Yeah,
very, very heavy, like deathcore, grindcore, tech death, whatever.
yeah,
But really, you're just like, oh, we're like, oh, well, sorry, but we like flowers and hearts and
yeah. Well, I think as well,
and
like what you do is in terms of like the visuals as well. Like obviously, there's a lot of like pink in the color
yeah.
schemes, and like I think like all the merch as well as like pink and either like black and gray and stuff,
Hmm.
which is something that's I guess I think the choice of a pink color is something that's not used so much in metal,
Yeah.
which is a little bit strange, but I guess that kind of says more about obviously the metal scene. I don't know why it's such an
Yeah,
aversion.
it's we all have like most of everybody's closets are black
Yeah,
band tees, and you know, and so we all kind of like thought about it. We're like, well, we love the color black. Every metalhead does,
yeah, it's a staple.
but yeah, it's a staple. So we just figured, you know what? You know, not all metalheads are like, I just want to wear black. Sometimes we're like, you know, we want to wear pink, we want to
Yeah,
wear purple, we want to wear like pastel colors along. You know, it's just not. We're not just a dimensional, you know, music listener. We
yeah,
love all types of music. So why not reflect it in the wardrobe as well? Not
yeah,
just in the music, but in the wardrobe.
yeah. It ties into the band and the band name, doesn't it? Like, exposing yourself, emotional gore, and then
Yeah.
the emotions and kind of other sides to I guess the metal community, and just the
Hmm.
vulnerability, I suppose, and that's reflected
Yeah.
in like the pink coloring and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we were, especially when I was growing up, like I'm a millennial. So,
Yeah.
you know, they always said, oh man, pink is for girls. Well, I'm just like, I've always been of the thought, like, who cares?
It's just a color.
Like, it's just the color. The color
Yeah,
has no gender. It's just,
yeah,
I think pink looks cool in certain. I have a Selena shirt, a Selena Quintanilla shirt that's all pink, and I freaking rock that thing.
yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah. I think it says more about the people that get insecure over a color. It
Yeah, of
says more
course,
about you, I
but
think.
yeah, but it's whatever, you
Yeah,
know. To each his own.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like, even if you think about like album covers, I can only think of like you've got Beartooth, The Surface, that's obviously mostly pink.
Mm.
And then Death Heaven had their album Sunbathe, and that's mostly pink. And then
Yeah.
I mean, we go like back to like old school metalcore. You've got 18 Visions, and they have that album Vanity, which is like a bright, hot pink as well. And just
Mhm.
makes it stick out as well, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, you have to stick out. You have to do something that's just gonna floor everybody and just be like, oh wow, that caught my attention. Because our attention spans are just this small.
Yeah, especially now with like
So
TikTok and Reels and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, 30, 10-second, 15-second reels, and you're just like, all right, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. So
yeah,
in this day and age, we really have to like really try hard to capture people's attention
yeah, yeah, more than ever. Yeah,
more than ever. Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
yeah. Well, kind of just like while on the subject of like imagery and stuff, the EP artwork was done by like a 3D and 4D artist, Matthew Collymore.
Yeah,
Um,
Matt Coleman.
yeah, and so it like the artwork's like really cool, and like the dripping like flower stem kind of reminds me
Hmm.
of these mushrooms called like inky caps, and they like just drip like black
Oh
blood off
yeah,
them, which is really strange. Yeah.
I've seen that before. Yeah, the flower, the way I interpret it is the human person, the
Mm.
person, and the black sludge is like the emotion. Your inner turmoil is just oozing out of you because you're becoming more vulnerable. And that's how I interpret it because whenever we first saw the flower with the ooze coming out of it, that's how I connected with it. That's how I visualized and how I internalized that vision, that image. Other people might interpret it the other way, but that's, you know, that's awesome because that's what art is. That's what true art does. Is it's going to be different. It's going to be a different interpretation for everybody else.
Yeah, definitely. And you've also got the video for Babylon as well. How was that for you? What was the shoot like?
Oh man, that was awesome. Honestly, that was the very I've been a part of music shoots before with other bands, but this one was the most like I guess professional
Right.
because it was the team was amazing. They were on it. They knew what they were doing. They knew what the vision was whenever we started to go through with the the talking phase of what the music video was going to look like. And honestly, it was awesome. It was long hours, but we got through it. We got it done in a day, and we actually filmed it in a church, which
Yeah.
was insane. Like, who knew a church would be okay with us actually doing what we did?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, typically you wouldn't think that, would you? Like, oh yeah, we're gonna film a video for like heavy music here. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was awesome. But the the lady who let us in and you know let us do what we needed to do in that church, she was awesome. She was just like, just make sure that nothing gets broken, that everything can be cleaned up. And we're like, absolutely, we'll abide by the rules that you set.
Yeah.
It's just so that we can just get these cool shots. And
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just being respectful, isn't it? Like clean up after
yeah,
yourself and make sure nothing breaks. So yeah,
yeah, of course. I mean, it's regardless if it is a church or another person's house, it's just being having good manners.
yeah, yeah. So obviously the EP comes out. Well, it's out by the time everyone hears this conversation.
Mhm.
What else have Gore got planned for the rest of not only 2024 but 2025 so far that you can talk about?
Oh man, we are currently writing,
Right?
getting some more songs out for you. Uh, we're working with a lot of producers, and we're just trying to keep continue with the with what is Gore. I will say that it's not going to be the same, completely the same as what's already been released. We're always going to try to do something a little different,
Right.
which is that has always been like the motto for every member in this group, is that we all have different influences that we have our musical interests in, and we want to somehow show it in the music, because not everybody in the band only listens to metal.
Right.
Everybody listens to R&B, pop, uh girly pop, as Devin says. uh Spanish rock. Like, that's just some of the genres that we all listen to.
Right.
Yeah, it
Um,
rap as well.
and what are you listening to lately that's kind of maybe influencing your writing?
Oh, I've been listening a lot to like Spanish rock, uh, a lot of Bill Murray. I don't know if you ever heard of Bill Murray,
Oh yeah,
but
he's great. Yeah.
he's amazing. The whole band is amazing, and I've been really getting into them a lot as well. Um, I like a lot of pop music, so I listen to like Bruno Mars or Chappell Roan. Actually, Devin got me into Chappell Roan. Uh, can't think of anything else at the moment because I'm just, fried. But yeah, those are some of the influences that I'm currently receiving.
Right.
Yeah.
And just speaking about like future plans, like I know you can't tell me specific touring plans and stuff, but
Hmm.
is there at least an intent, I guess, to go overseas if that, I guess that comes onto your table?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for the rest of the band,
Yeah.
that no one's ever been in a band that's toured or ever played over, across the pond, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and I think if the offer comes and it makes sense, we're absolutely gonna make it. We're
Yeah.
actually gonna go. We're absolutely gonna go.
Yeah.
And hopefully, hopefully soon.
What would be the number one band you'd like to tour with that you think fits well with like the Gore sound?
Ooh, that's a bit of a loaded question. I think the one that, right off the bat would probably be Bad Omens.
Yeah.
Bad Omens is one. Uh, everybody's gonna say this, and they're expecting this answer, but Spirit Box.
Spirit Box. Yeah.
Uh, I guess Dayseeker as well. Um, Catch Your Breath, which is another band.
Yeah.
Uh, they're also from Texas.
Sleep Token would be good as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's also a given. Sleep Token,
Yeah.
like, oh man, to be opening up for Sleep Token would probably be like a dream come true.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Alex, thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Really excited to see, obviously, Gore's flourishing and what's going to be coming in the future. Like, it's only going to be bigger and better things.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
have I
you.
got any final words before I let you go and enjoy the rest of your day?
No, just thank you so much for having me, and I hope we get to speak soon.
Yeah, like if you come over here over to the UK, I'll get you a pint, dude. So yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Thank you. I
No worries,
appreciate
dude.
that.
No worries. Yeah,
Uh,
I'll let you
Thank you
go.
so much, Zach.
Yeah, take care of yourself, dude. Bye. And that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in to It's Not a Phase. If you enjoyed this episode, then don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Leave a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Follow the podcast on social media, and maybe even join the Patreon or grab some merch from the store. You can find everything that you need at itsnotaphase.co.uk. That's itsnotaphase.co.uk. Thanks again. Hopefully catch you on the next one, and remember, it's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.